Every student has a journey when they go off to college. Why are all the students not getting to their destination? My name is Rob Williams. I'm a student success strategist, and welcome to the Student Success Lab, where we not just talk about success, but we study it, we build it, and we become it. How many of you have ever been in a place where you didn't feel like you belonged? Raise your hand. Felt like you didn't belong. You felt like you was a mistake. You felt like you wasn't in the right place. Well, that was me a couple of years ago. I'm not going to say exactly when, but let's just say a couple of years ago when I was in college. Things were going well. I was well into my career in college. I was a junior. And I walked into my discrete math structures class. It was a class that I needed to get my degree in computer science. We had just taken an exam the week before, and I was coming back in to see the grade that I made. Well, I looked at the grade, and the grade looked at me. And we started having a private conversation because the name on the paper didn't match the grade on the paper. But the grade looked at me and said, "I have undeniable evidence that you failed." And so I looked at the paper again, and it said an 11. I got an 11 on a math exam. Now watch this. This is just not all of the story. This is just part of it. At the same time that I failed this math exam, I was a math tutor of college freshmen taking college algebra. Make that make sense. So here I am failing, but at the same time, helping others get to their future. Oh, that really bothered me. I was upset. I was disappointed. And then I started getting questions that just came out of nowhere. These questions were, do you really belong here? Is this the major that you really want? Are you sure you're smart enough to do this? You know you don't really belong here. And so those questions began to mess with my mind. And so what I didn't know back then, I've now discovered now that all of those questions was a bunch of noise. It was a bunch of noise that came to fill an empty space. See, those questions I didn't have answers for, and the noise rushed in to say, "We got you." Well, the problem with the noise is the silently loud voice that comes to distract, to detour, and disrupt who you were becoming. See, here I am being a leader, but I felt like a failure at the same time. This noise I'm talking about is negativity, it's obstacles, it's insecurities, it's stress, and it's excuses. Excuses, that's the most dangerous part of the noise, because excuses make you think it's reasonable. Oh, I'll go get help later. Oh, I'll study next week. Oh, I'll be okay. Excuses keep you complacent. But the good thing about it is I asked for help. A lot of times, students, you're afraid to ask for help. I asked for help, and I got the help that I needed. And it helped me get my degree in computer science. And so as I went on and got my degree, as I went on with my career, I began working with students. And I began having conversations with these students. And I began to see a familiar pattern. These students were also dealing with noise. But within the noise, I understood that it was a part of a barrier that has to do with their journey. Every student has a journey when they go off to college. And this journey has 4 stages. Say 4. The first stage is orientation. Orientation is when the student is introduced to the campus. The next stage, say transition. Transition is when the student has to connect to the campus. This is where the student feels like they belong and they feel like they connect. The next stage is retention. Say retention. Retention is where the student makes the decision to commit to the campus. Either they're going to stay or either they're going to go. The fourth stage of the journey is leadership. Say leadership.
Leadership.
Leadership is where the student says, okay, how can I contribute to this campus? Leadership is where the student has the opportunity to influence others and make an impact on the campus. Say journey. Every student has an opportunity to go through this journey. But while talking to those students, the question came to my mind, why are all the students not getting to their destination? What is stopping these students from going from orientation to leadership? Well, it hit me. Noise. Noise is the barrier of the journey. Remember, when I was in college, I was in my junior year and the noise popped up, but I asked for help. But a lot of students are not asking for help. And so administrators, teachers, parents, and leaders, we don't know when to help them because we can't see it. So as I analyzed the noise, I saw that the noise was developing a pattern. And this pattern took place like this. Negativity creates a thought. Obstacle creates a block. Insecurity creates doubt. Stress creates pressure. And excuses creates shutdown. And the student is stuck in a loop with this pattern. It's the thought, it's the block, it's the doubt, it's the pressure, it's the shutdown, it's the thought, it's the block. The pattern continues and continues. And then there's an outcome. This pattern gives the student a permission slip to say, hey, you don't belong. You're not connected, so leave. And so now the student has a permission slip to go fill out the withdrawal form and leave. And what they don't realize is when the student leaves, there's a price that has to be paid. The student pays the price, and the institution pays the price, and the campus pays a price. For every student that leaves represents loss in revenue and loss of potential on the campus. Lost in revenue and loss of potential on the campus. So when the students are stuck in this pattern, how do we know? Well, my 15 plus years working in financial crimes investigations, we analyzed unusual movement of funds. We looked at any potential red flags, anything that developed a pattern. And so we identified the patterns before they became a problem. And in my years working with students, I said, I see a parallel here. Students don't just get up and leave off of one event. Students don't quit because of one mistake. Students don't give up because of one failure. It's because of a pattern. And this pattern the student can't see, this pattern their parents can't see, this pattern their professors can't see, this pattern their resident advisors can't see. And so they're stuck in a loop. And we're losing students not at retention, we're losing them at the transition because of the barriers. One of the barriers has caused the student to halt and to hesitate their journey. And so they just up and leave. Well, I come to you today to say that we are all now going to become pattern detectors. Say, I am a pattern detector. And so the best way to detect a pattern is we're going to call on SIRI. Say, SIRI.
SIRI.
Yeah, we all know who SIRI is. We call on SIRI when we need some guidance, when we need some help, when we have a question, or if we need some direction. And so we're going to call on SIRI. When I say SIRI, we're going to help the student see it. We got to help the student see the pattern. Because until you acknowledge it, you won't own up to it. The next step, we're going to inspect it. We're going to see what the source is. We're going to see which part of the noise is causing you to freeze up, to lock up, and want to give up. After we inspect it, then we're going to help the student reflect on it. What is this costing me? What is the cost of me being stuck in this pattern? And so as we continue on looking through SIRI, the next step is interrupt. Why do we interrupt? Well, we interrupt because a pattern exists until you disrupt it. And so the last step, we help the student interrupt. And that's where you come up with a plan to stay with the student, to guide through the student through the rest of their journey. My name is Rob Williams. I'm a student success strategist. And if you want to know more about the pattern recognition, you can reach me at thestudentsuccesslab.com. Thank you. Thanks.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.